Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'm bringing you a video dedicated to the discussion and demonstration of Algofi, which is a lending and borrowing, money market, whatever you want to call it, platform on the Algorand DeFi ecosystem. Before we get to that, I just wanted to thank everybody who's been watching and commenting and subscribing to these videos. I really appreciate it. If you are interested in information about Algorand and specifically the DeFi that's coming to Algorand, I'd recommend subscribing. We're gonna just keep pumping out videos covering this kind of stuff, and anytime new platforms come out, I will go and test them and show them to you guys. Any information that comes out, big news that's strictly going to make us some money in the Algorand DeFi ecosystem. We'll be covering that. So yeah, just hit subscribe and you'll be in the loop, in the know. All right, let's get right to it then. So Algofi, like I said, it's a lending market, lending borrowing market. Some people call it a money market. What have you? Basically, you can lend your money to them, and then you can borrow money back, and you get paid interest, and then you pay interest. And yeah, it's very similar to Aave, Compound, a bunch of other things. Existing DeFi systems. It's nothing new in that sense, but it is new in that it'll be the first one that's going to be released on the Algorand blockchain. And you can see that on their kind of little roadmap down here. Quarter 3, quarter 4 of 2021, which we are in. Launch on mainnet. So, sometime in quarter 4 of this year, they're going to be launching on the mainnet. So, yeah, it is right around the corner, and it's going to be a good opportunity to make some money. All right, so let's look at the actual app itself. Now, first and foremost, as you can see, this is still on testnet, and this is still a work in progress. So this is not going to be the final product. They're still working on it. In fact, this little thing here it's different than it was yesterday. Yesterday it didn't really work at all, and now it looks like they're starting to implement it. It's not 100% in, but I mean, like I said yesterday, it didn't have any of this where you could scroll through. It didn't. None of the addresses were real. So this is all new and stuff they're working on. And these people with these health ratios here, these are problematic people. You will get liquidated by me when they turn this on. Anyway, so yeah, it's on testnet. Things are liable to change, but the basic inner workings of it, I think, are going to stay the same. So we can go over that, and yeah, you guys can get a better understanding of what exactly this all is going to entail. All right, so on the testnet, if you want to test it yourself, you can come up and hit this faucet up here. Basically, you can get up to 1,000 of these different assets that they're provided to more test it. Oh, God, that's a hill. That's a hill. I mean, that's a hillside. You can't really tell if there's hills back there because of the trees. I'm going to go with these 3. Yay! That's the fun thing with CAPTCHAs nowadays. Like, you have to basically kind of make some, best guesses, because sometimes, is that one square that has a little bit of the stoplight, does that count as a stoplight? Or, does the pole of the stoplight count as a stoplight? It's hard to say sometimes. Anyways, all right, so we got our 1,000 each of the assets that we're going to play with. As you can see here, I have a bunch more than that because I've been playing around with this account. So you can see I've got $13,000, 4,000 wrapped Algo, 6,000 YLDY, and 100,000 of these bank. Which bank, I don't know if the name of this is going to change, but you can tell by the icon, this kind of represents what their governance token is going to be. So, I don't know. Originally, this was going to be called Algo Bank. They had to change the name because of just regulatory concerns and whatnot. So, obviously, this name here is a relic of that. I don't know if they will be changing that or if they're going to keep it as a shout out to their original name. Whatever though, but just know that this is like their governance token. This YLDY, obviously, they did wrapped Algo rather than regular Algo because regular Algo is very limited on the testnet. Okay, and then below here you can see each one of these things with a little B in front of it. So like bank USDC, bank wrapped Algo, bank YLDY, bank. What happens is you take your assets out of your wallet, and what we're going to do is we're going to basically mint them into these, and while minting them, that's also how you supply them and how you begin earning interest. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take our USDC. Actually, here, we'll do it with the bank because I have the most of this. We'll take the bank. We're going to mint the bank into B bank, and then it will be supplied down here. Once it's supplied, then we can add it to collateral, and then once it's added to collateral, you can borrow against it. Right? Okay. Again, some of this stuff is easier just to show, so let's show it here real quick. All right. So you can see I have 104,000. I'm going to go down the supply market. You can see this is the total supply. This is not anything to do with me. This is the total supply on the overall Algofi platform. But I'm going to click it. I'm going to hit supply. I'm going to apply amount to supply. I'm going to do my max amount. So you can see there, 104,000. Notice here I'm going to get a little bit less back. That's because there is a deposit fee or a minting fee. I'm not sure what they're going to call it, but there's a small fee here, but that is the only time that these Algofi guys make any money. All of the interest being paid is all to us. Algofi doesn't get any, they don't take a cut out of any of the interest or anything like that. This fee here is all they're getting. All right, so we're going to be supplying the bank. So it's going to call up a transaction through my Algo wallet. You can see it's a bunch of transactions. They just have to do this with the way that TL4 is set up. They said they may be able to cut down on the amount of transactions when TL5 comes out, but it works. All right, so you sign it again. 4.5 seconds. I'm gonna go through real quick. Now the bank is being supplied to the protocol, sort of. All right, so it was minted. We turned our 100,000 bank tokens in. It was minted into this B bank right here. You can see my bank is gone, and my B bank has not shown up yet because now I need to claim it, because it's a two-part process. First, it needs to be minted, and then it needs to be claimed. They have said that they're going to be changing this, so this is just one process. You're not going to have to do the two different things, which that will actually be the third time they've changed it. They had this when they first came out. It didn't have the distinct supply and claim buttons. You would just do it once, transactions would go through, and then a second set of transactions would come through, and you'd have to click that. And people were confused on that, so they changed it to what it is now. People are still kind of confused on what it is now, so they're going to be changing it again. So that process will be streamlined. You will only have to hit it once. Anyways, as you can see now, my bank out of my wallet is gone, but I now have 104,000 of the Algofi wrapped bank. Okay, and you can also see that down here. I now have 104,000 of the bank down supplied here. Now, even though it doesn't have the little B in front of it, technically speaking, well, I don't know. I mean, it's a matter of semantics, I guess, because I did take 100,000 of my bank, and I now am supplying that bank. Granted, that bank got turned into wrapped bank, but again, matter of semantics. All right, so now you have supplied it, you have minted it, you have claimed it, and it is now sitting over here. Now, you could just leave it here. At this point, I am earning 0.8% interest on my bank, and this is all I have to do. If that's all I want to do, if this is all the farther I want to take it, and I just want to remain very, very safe, this is what I could do. I could stop right here. I would earn my 0.8% interest, and if there's going to be liquidity incentives added, by Algorand through the Veritas fund, you would get those bonuses also. So there exists a world where, at this point you'll be getting 10% interest or something, depending on what the, possibly 100% interest. I don't want to say, because we have no idea what the rewards are going to shake out being, but yeah, if you wanted to, you could stop right here and you are now earning money. Now, to take it to the next level, let's do that. So we're going to click on bank. What we are going to do now is we are going to add it as collateral. I'm going to hit max. I'm going to hit submit, and boom. All right, now basically what this means is I've just taken that same amount of money and I have chosen now to put it up as collateral. Still, nothing really has happened. I'm still at the same level of safety. But, if you're not going to go past this step, there's really no reason to add it to collateral unless you're going to go to this next step, which is going to be me borrowing some money, because as you can see, I supplied basically $1 million worth of collateral, because these bank tokens are worth $10 each. So I'm doing 100,000 tokens at $10 each. That's $1 million supplied. Then I posted it to collateral, so I have 1 million collateral posted. That takes my max borrow to $520,000. Let's I should have shown this to you before. Let me remove this collateral real quick. Let me remove this so we can show how that's going to affect the how much I can borrow. Again, 0.00, well, it's a little bit more than 0.001 Algo because it's different transactions, but it's still cheap and fast. All right, so here you can see I supplied 1 million. I have nothing, pretty much nothing posted as collateral, and I can't borrow anything. All right, so now we're actually going to go back and supply this to collateral, so you can just see what happens here. All right, so we're going to add the bank to collateral. Do this all again. Okay, and now we'll be able to go up and we'll see that my collateral posted will go up, and you'll also be able to see that the amount that I can borrow has gone up, because now I have, all right, so boom, boom, and now I can borrow up to $520,000. Now, you don't want to borrow your absolute max amount, because that'll put you, right at the edge of being liquidated. But let's, all right, so how you borrow then? Say I want to do that. Oh, and as you can see here, I'm paying 9.14% interest. That's high. It's probably higher than what it's going to be, and also the liquidity mining incentives will be in place to offset that. But we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But let's just show you this process. So I'm going to borrow. Let's borrow $400,000. All right, $400,000. As you can take a look here, see I got in my wallet here, I've got 13,000. Do here, boom, boom, boom. I now have a loan taken out against my collateral. All right, and as you can see here now, I have $400,000 more in USD coin in my wallet. And as you can see, my max borrow was 520,000. I am borrowing 400,000. So now if I go here, no, it doesn't say there. But now I would only be able to borrow another 120,000 if I wanted to. But now here's when things can get a little bit fun, or scary, or dangerous, or profitable. It all depends on how you look at it. All right. Anyway, so I now have this $400,000 that was just borrowed to me. If I want to, I can take that $400,000 and I can go ahead and supply it and start earning interest on the money that I just borrowed and then paying interest on. But I'm not really paying interest, because with the liquidity mining incentives, there's a good chance that I will be getting paid to borrow money and then paid to reloan it and then paid to borrow it again, and then paid to you can see how I'm going to claim it because I minted it. Now I got to claim it. But you can see how this can this can escalate very quickly, and you can start making some very serious money. But there are dangers. There's always danger. Anytime, there's no free lunch in this world. Okay, so as you can see now, I have supplied that $400,000 to the market. And see, my supply went up. Now my collateral didn't go up because I did not post it to collateral, and my max borrow did not go up. But all right, so we supplied it. Now let's add it to collateral. So we'll add the full amount to my collateral. And now remember, this is all just money, that $400,000 that was borrowed to me. I'm doing this stuff with. I'm already earning interest on it. You can see I supplied. Now I posted it to collateral. Now you can see my max borrow just went up. So now, when I could borrow before, my max borrow was $520,000. Since I borrowed this $400K and then posted it collateral, half of that, $200,000, went to my max borrow. So now I can go ahead here. Oh, how about we borrow? Wait, how does this? Oh, wait, here we go. How about we borrow another? Let's not do 200,000. Let's not get that crazy. Let's borrow another 150. So now I'm borrowing another 150,000, of which I'm paying interest on, but there's a decent chance that you'll be getting the bonus interest will be more than what the real interest is, so you'll actually be getting paid to borrow money. All right, so now I have another $200,000. Where'd it go? Another 150. So I borrowed another $150,000. You can see it showed up here in my wallet. I just had 13,000 in there, so now I'm back up to 163K. Let's go here. Let's supply that 150. Again, small deposit fee, but for, $150,000, you're paying, not much. We're gonna supply this $150,000. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so now I started with $1 million. I'm now up to let's see. Yeah, so now I'm up to almost an extra $600,000. Let's just try 100. Let's see what happens when we put 100. You know what? I don't think, maybe I didn't claim it. Did I click out with not claiming it like a dumbass? Yes. Okay. All right. Don't do that. Always make sure to go and make sure that you click the claim button after you supply. God damn it. All right. I hope everybody can understand what just happened there. Basically, it was a complete brain fart by myself, but also why they are going to be wrapping the supplying and claim into one thing. Because, yeah, I just totally spaced that. Okay. Idiot. All right, so see here now, that's why I couldn't do it, because it was kind of in the ether. I had supplied, I had taken out the loan, I brought the loan over, I supplied it, and then I was an idiot and forgot to claim it and got myself confused, but now it's going to work. Yeah, like I said though, they don't tell you why it's a bad request. It just says bad request on this, and you got to figure out what you're doing wrong, which isn't a terrible thing. All right, yeah, there. See? All right, so let's go back to where we were. We started with $1 million. We've taken out some loans, and then we've put it back in. So originally we had $1 million earning interest. Now we have like $1.6 million earning interest. We have these loans, but they're fairly safe. I could get screwed with the price of bank going down, would be my biggest worry, because a big part of this collateral posted is my $1 million in bank. If the price of bank, remember this price of bank right here is $10. If the price of bank goes down to $8, all of a sudden $200,000 of my collateral is gone. When it means $200,000 of my collateral means this is going to go up, because once my borrow utilization hits 101%, then I am liable to be liquidated. And when you're liable to be liquidated, what that means is somebody could pay off my loan here, and then they would be able to grab my collateral because they paid my loan off, because I obviously am not able to because I went over. And the people who do that also get like an 8% bonus. They get what they would get from liquidating you, plus they get a little bit of bonus to incentivize people to liquidate each other, because I mean, you have to pay back your loans. None of this works out if people don't pay back their loans, and the best way to get people to pay back their loans is, well, you take their money. If they don't have a choice, because you can't loan money without collateral, right? So there's never going to be a case where somebody's going to be able to like take a loan and not pay it back, because, well, I mean, I guess you can not pay it back, but your collateral is just going to get taken. You will pay it back one way or the other. The bank, or rather, because we are going to be the bank here, we will get our money. Speaking of which, money, right? Okay. So the question then becomes, why do we do this? Why would you supply your money? Obviously, the reason is to get paid interest. The question is, how do you see that interest? And it is a little bit tricky. Again, this is on the testnet, so they may add something in that makes it much more obvious what you're getting, but I can show you on this other account I have, a different one. You can see this person has a lot of YLDY. They've got 600,000 YLDY, which I have been supplying for a couple weeks now, and you can see YLDY's at 22%, just because it's the demand for it, and everybody's taking it off here and taking it someplace else, whereas I just kept it here. Okay, anyways, so how you can see how much you've earned in interest is you go to the supply market, click on the asset, and you go over to withdraw. And you can see here I put in 635,343 and 68. If I hit max here, you can see this is that number's there is what, but this number here is my estimated YLDY to be withdrawn. And as you can see, this number here is about 8,500 YLDY higher than this one. And what that represents is that difference is the interest that I've earned while supplying this YLDY. So I've had, I originally supplied 635,000. I'm now, if I were to withdraw, I would get 643,000 when I withdrew. And that's how you can see what you're earning at this moment. Like I said, I don't know if they're going to add something more to make it more obvious, but it's in now, and you can look and see. Let's see here. So I have 100,000 of USDC. We can see here, withdraw, hit max. Yeah, see here I've made 109,177, 109,339. So here I made less, but it's much less interest rate and also less amount. So obviously the gains are not going to be as much. All right. I hope that was less confusing than it is or you're less confused now than you were when you started. Should we unwrap this loan? No. Yes. Okay. Say you want to pay back the loan now. If you want to pay back the loan, you have to have the money in your wallet. And as you can see here, I've only got $13,000, and I owe $550,000. So I got to start getting some of that money back to pay it back. And the way you do that, you got to do that. I got to remove from collateral. So here I'm going to hit remove collateral, and this will for sure be this will come back as a bad request, because I'm in theory this is how much I have to remove in collateral, but since I took those layered loans, it's like I can only take out as much as the last loan, and then that will uncover the previous loan, and then I'll be able to take some more out. So alright, let's I think the last one I took was 150,000. Let's just do 140,000. Remove from collateral. So you'll see what happens here. First I have to remove it from collateral, and that's going to take it, and that's going to move it out of here, and it'll show up in my banked USD thing here. Alright, so we took out $140,000, removed it from collateral. Now I still can't use it to pay back the loan, because it still is wrapped in this bank wrapped USDC. So I still need to get it back to here before I can use it to pay here. So I then have to go to USDC, and then I have to withdraw. And I'm going to withdraw. See, again, this is the total amount that I have down here. So it thinks that's how much I have, but I can't. If I would hit burn, I'll even do it right here just to show you. I'm going to hit burn here, and it's going to come back as a bad request, because, yeah, I mean, kind of I have that much, but I really don't have that much. I only have 140,000. See, bad request. I only have 140,000 that I can unwrap at the moment. Yes, I have that much, but that much is not available to be unwrapped. I only have 140,000 available to unwrap right now. So let's do that. Let's unwrap the 140,000. All right, and before it was called minting, now we're basically burning. So, and it's the same thing. You've got to burn it, and then you've got to claim it. Just like you've got to mint it, and then you've got to claim it. You've got to burn it, and then you've got to claim it. So, all right, we're doing step 1 here. We're burning. And then as soon as it gets done burning, then we have to remember to claim it. Do not click out. Don't click out, because you'll get confused and be like, oh no, where'd it go? Like I just did. Alright, so now we burnt it. Now we are claiming it back, and you will see this number here will go up 140,000. There you go. Now we have 150 USDC. We can go in here. We can click here. We can repay. And now, again, it's going to want, it always will hit that max. This max isn't the max of like what you actually have available. It's like what is actually in your account. But I know that I have 153,000. So let's repay. Oh yeah, hold on. Let's look at this real quick. As you can see, because I removed some of that collateral, my borrow utilization went from, I think it was 67 up to 76. But when I pay this back, this 150,000. Oops. Nope, I don't want to borrow more. I want to repay. I'm going to pay back 150,000. You will see both my borrow utilization will go down a little bit. And your borrow utilization, that's similar to like a health rating, health factor that you'll hear some other places talk about. It's basically just that. All right, so now I paid back 150 grand of that loan. As you can see, my borrow utilization went down even a little bit more, because now, I could borrow for 725, but I'm only borrowing 400,000. And as you can see here, I only am borrowing now 400,000. I used a little bit more over there, so now I'm down to 3,000 instead of the 1,300 I had. All right, let's pay off the rest of it. All right, I still need to get the rest out of my collateral and do that whole thing to get the money open, right? So I mean, I have the 400,000 to pay back this, but first I need to unsupply it, then I need to unwrap it, and then I can pay. You got it? All right, let's do it one more time just to 100% lock this down. All right, we are going to remove the collateral. 100%. We should be able, I think we're going to be able to remove 100% here. We shouldn't get a bad request. Though it is going to leave a little bit behind. It's just due to a rounding error, and that is also something they're going to fix. Although maybe it'll be fixed today. We'll see. In the past, this would have left behind like 0.0017. Oh, hey, they fixed it. All right. Yeah, this is one of the things of using testnet. This actually didn't work yesterday, and it works today. Cool. Good job, guys. Good job, Algofi team. All right, so as you can see now, I have nothing added to collateral. I still have it minted, so I need to unmint it still if I want to pay off this loan. So we are going to unmint this. We are going to withdraw, and now I think I should be able to withdraw the whole amount. And you can see there's a little bit, this little 2 cents here. That was the interest that I paid, offsetting the interest that I earned minus the deposit fees. It's going to be, I'll basically get the same amount out though. And I'll have enough to pay the loan back. And obviously, you would never do something this quickly. Wrap one up and then unwrap it quickly like this, because you would get killed on fees. Although it's Algorand, so it's not too bad, but you still would want to, let it sit there for a few days minimum, probably weeks. All right. So we are out of the supplying USCD business. You can see that that is completely gone, so we're no longer supplying it. We now have that $400,000 is in our wallet. We still owe it. Let's just go ahead and close out this loan, because carrying debt is never a good thing. As you can see, remember we borrowed $400,000. In that little amount of time, we accrued $1.75 in interest, which, $1.75 on a $400,000 loan isn't a big deal. I mean, I could have, in the real world, just think what you could do with 400 grand in the real world in that little amount of time. I could earn more than $1.75. I could also lose a lot more than $1.75. So, okay, and you can see here this little bit that is not 100% sure. I thought that would be fixed too, but one more little thing to fix. But they fixed it on this side, so this also is a little bit of a problem with the testnet not getting enough transactions and Algofi not getting enough transactions, and the thing's not just kind of getting refreshed as often as they should. But hey, it only took one. Actually, before, often it would take like 2 or 3 times to get that down to 0. So yeah, it looks like they've removed some of the rounding errors, and yeah, like I said, this literally is different than when I was testing it last night. So they're working on this as we speak, and it's coming. Like I showed you earlier, it's coming probably in the next quarter, which is the next 3 months. I would say closer to the next 1 month, maybe 2 months. If I had to take a guess, I would say within 45 days we will get this. All right, and what it could possibly be, this, like I said, this is the testnet, so the interface could change, but one thing that probably will 100% change are these interest rates. These are not what it's going to be like at all. The people are behaving in a completely irrational manner on testnet. The assets are not valued in a realistic manner, and the values of them are going up and down in unrealistic ways, and they're not correlated in the ways that they would be. So, and people are not borrowing in logical ways that would make any sense at all. Nothing that they're going to do like when we're released on mainnet at all. So don't these numbers really have no basis in reality, and they're not something that we even need to worry about. On the other hand, we can look at Benki, which is a very similar platform on a very similar blockchain, the Avalanche blockchain, which it's super creative icon there, guys. But here, you can see here, if you were to deposit supply Avalanche, which basically would be the equivalent to supplying Algorand, you would get your deposit APY of 3.8% just from the Benki platform. That would be, you would be getting paid, in whatever you deposit, you get paid that back. So, you're depositing Avalanche, so you would be getting paid the 3% in Avalanche. If you're depositing USD Tether, you would be getting paid the 3% in Tether. Now, this distribution APY. This down here, this is what we're going to be getting from that Viridis DeFi fund. These are the liquidity mining incentives, and if you click here, you can see the distribution APY. You're getting a 2.65% bonus from key awards, which are, obviously the governance token for this money market platform, Benki. So you're getting 2.65% from them, and then you're getting another 0.87% of AVAX rewards. And these AVAX rewards are going to be the Algo, it will just say Algo rewards for us. All right? And 90% I'm sure that's what it's going to be. So, you could supply, here, let's look at Tether. Excuse me. So Tether, you could deposit your Tether. You would get 6% interest rate on the Tether, and then an additional 9.27 on the bonus rewards. You get another 7% in the key, and then another 2.2. So basically 2.25 in AVAX, which again will be Algorand. So you would be getting, 6% in Tether, 3% or so in Algorand, and then another 6% in, it'll be the whatever Algofi governance token ends up being. All right? And that's for supplying. You click over here to borrow, and you can see you pay 7.5%, but you get paid 6.7%. And these, this has been going along enough that this number probably was higher than this number when this platform was released. I can almost guarantee you, but enough people obviously have, figured out that you could get paid money to borrow money, and they probably just did the wrapped up loan thing that I just showed you on Algofi. They did that, and they did it enough to drop this APY below this APY. And hey, that's the point of it. That's the point of these things, is to get people to pile money into these platforms. And if free money is a good way to get people to pour their real money in. So yeah, and these are the things that are going to be available to us on Algofi when it is released. That's what this Viridis fund, a lot of that Viridis fund is going to be going towards, is providing liquidity mining incentives. And liquidity mining incentives on these money market funds, that's what they are. You get paid a bonus APR above and beyond what the base APR is, and oftentimes at the beginning of these platforms, oftentimes you will get paid money to borrow money, right? So I don't know. I'm definitely going to try and take advantage of all of that as I possibly can. If you guys want to too, you will be more than welcome. There's going to be room for all of us, right? Anybody who is watching these videos, you're deep in. If you're still listening at this point of this video, you are Algorand DeFi degen, and if you have the bravery to completely ape in to these different platforms at the beginning, there's going to be a ridiculous amount of money to be made, and the risk is, the risk is compared to a traditional investment vehicle, the risk is high, but compared to uh, a DeFi platform on some of these other blockchains, I think the risk is very, very low. I have a lot of confidence in Algorand. I have a lot of confidence in the teams that are coming out with these initial DeFi platforms like Tinyman, like Algofi, like Folks Finance. I have a very, very high level of confidence in these people, and do your own research. This is certainly not financial advice, but I think if you look into the teams, you also will feel very, very good about, putting your money into a place where it's going to be, you're trusting these people with your money, but I find them very trustworthy, and yeah, I'm excited. All right. If you guys like this video, hit like. If you are interested in this kind of stuff, subscribe. I would love, 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 love it if you guys would subscribe. We've already up to like 60 subscriptions in a couple weeks, which is cool, very cool. I would love to get more. I would love to get to 1,000 to be able to get paid a little bit of money for this kind of stuff. But again, the most important thing is that we get this information out. Like, comment, subscribe, share. We need people bringing their money to the Algorand DeFi ecosystem and making other people be like, hey, what's this Algorand thing? Why is everybody bringing their money in? I should bring my money in too, because nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. Nothing attracts money like money. And it's on, it's not all on us, but we can help. And if you're planning on participating in this, the more people who participate, the more money you're going to make. So it's in your best interest to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All right, guys. That's all for today. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.